Hello, welcome to the Daily English News program on Azərbaycan Televiziya with the major developments of the day. I'm qocaman. Liberated territories will be defined by new technical equipment. A fully automated device will operate in secure conditions without the personnel. The demining equipment produced in Turkey will start operating next week.
Engineering equipment and machinery bought from Turkey in order to improve logistics of engineering forces of Azerbaijan army and accelerate the demining operations in the liberated territories was brought to our country. In this regard, a training program was organized in the engineering fortification unit. The rules of operation of equipment were studied in the 10-day training program. Anar Karimov, head of Engineering Army Department, said that the equipment will be involved in clearing the liberated areas from mines and unexploded ordnance. 20 units of equipment have been purchased. As a result of the application of this equipment, we will save time. Remote control of equipment will fully ensure the safety of personnel. Mehmet, produced by Turkish engineers, is ahead of its analogues in the world in terms of technical parameters. Shakir Zeynalov, a captain, said that equipment is designed to clear mines in an area of 0.51 kilometer on 1.7 meters of land. Its total weight is 13 tons. The crew required to operate the equipment is 3 people. There are 3 cameras on the equipment. The area can be observed through these cameras. Mehmet, which can move at a speed of 4 kilometers per hour, conducts the clearing work by descending up to a depth of 25 centimeters into soil. It has the ability to work 8 hours non-stop. The equipment will be used to clear the occupied territories of mines from next week.
Azerbaijan's Ministry of Defense released video footages from the liberated Venadli village of Zengilan district and Zilanli village of Qapalı region. Venadli village is situated 14 kilometers northeast of the regional center on the fierce hills of Susan woodlands, where Alaaddin Gorge is located. Starting from the Susan Dağı ridge, the Susan Çayı river runs through Venadli and Qapalı region and flows into the Araz river. There was sowing areas, pasture woodlands, 2 large artificial lakes in the village. Presence of artificial lakes served in the flood of the Susan Çayı river all year round. Development of agriculture in Venadli and neighboring villages. According to the historical sources, the village was built in 1812-1830 by families arriving from Venad village of Ordubad district. The icon means coming from Venad. The settlement, occupied by Armenia in 1993, was liberated by the armed forces of Azerbaijan on October 23, 2020. Zilanli is a village in the administrative territory of Qapalı region. Is located at the confluence of the Hakkari and Belgüşad rivers on the left bank of the Hakkari river. Economy is associated with the name of the Zilan tribe. According to the 2014 census, the population was approximately 1,930. Before the occupation, the village had a high school, a club, 2 libraries, 2 kindergartens, a livestock complex, about 400 private houses, a bakery, a hospital, a bath complex, 2 shops and 2 canteens. Also, the main occupation of the population is cattle breeding. They were also engaged in cultivation, tobacco growing and cocooning. The village, which was occupied by the Armenian armed forces in 1993, was liberated by the Azerbaijani army on October 23 last year. The end of the aggression and occupation marked the triumph of justice and international law. This opinion of Azerbaijan's permanent representative to the UN, Yaşar Aliyev, was reflected in a letter to the UN Secretary General. It highlighted the facts of the occupation of Azerbaijani territories and the systematic disregard of international law by Armenia. The letter also says that another act of aggression committed by Armenia on September 27, 2020 was a logical consequence of the immunity that it has enjoyed for over 30 years. The fighting lasted 44 days. For more than 30 years of conflict, hostilities were conducted exclusively on the territory of Azerbaijan. The signed trilateral statement put an end to the armed conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, which lasted for almost 3 decades. The new realities on the ground provide a unique opportunity to strengthen peace and stability and create the preconditions for a return to peaceful coexistence and the promotion of development and mutually beneficial cooperation in the region. In addition to creating new challenges for the whole world, the pandemic has created criteria for measuring the management qualities of states and how well administrative institutions justify the trust of citizens. The Gallup International Survey includes citizens' attitudes toward government coronavirus interventions, vaccinations, and expectations for the coming year.
The pandemic also tested the political mobility and management qualities of states. Countries with well-developed strategies and political mobility have become more resilient to global disaster. The pandemic period also provided an opportunity for citizens to assess the administrative mechanisms of the state. The results of a survey conducted by Gallup International are interesting in this regard. The survey, which covered about 45,000 respondents in 47 countries, focused on coronavirus-related ideas and countries' expectations for next year. According to the results of the survey, 54% of respondents worldwide are satisfied with the government's response to coronavirus, 42% are dissatisfied, and 4% have difficulty responding. Based on this question, Vietnam is ranked first with 100%, the Republic of Korea is second with 89%, India and Azerbaijan are third with 86% in terms of the satisfaction of the respondents with the government's policy. It is no coincidence that Azerbaijan's experience in this field has been met with interest even by the international community, and the measures taken have been praised by the WHO. Given the prevalence of skeptical approaches to vaccination around the world and the information chaos in this context, citizens are expected to hesitate in the first phase of vaccination. However, 67% of the Azerbaijani population thinks about getting vaccinated. Also, 52% of respondents believe that the majority of the country's population will be vaccinated. The state has taken the necessary steps for the vaccination for the health of its citizens. Azerbaijan was the first to start vaccination in the South Caucasus. At the same time, Azerbaijan is among the first in the region where we are located. As a result, since the first day of the pandemic, the work has been done properly, all necessary steps have been taken, contacts have been established with international organizations. Only 1 month after the start of vaccination in the European Union, which includes the producing countries, Azerbaijan began to vaccinate its citizens at the expense of its own resources. Traditionally, the results of the survey on the results of the year on the Hope, Economic Development and Happiness Indices were also announced. On the average, 43% of the respondents around the world expect 2021 to be better than 2020. In Azerbaijan, 73% of the population believes that 2021 will be better.
147 infections with the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 236 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 4 people have died after testing positive for COVID-19. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 231,509 with 225,914 recoveries and 2,428 deaths. The number of active infections is 2,428. To detect new infection cases overall, 2,470,908 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.